Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Today's the 19th of February. Halfway to Q1 already. It's going super fast. Guys, don't forget to strap in, hit the like, and get some tea, because today I think might be quite a juicy stream. We of course already had a stream last Tuesday, but I think this one can be a great recap, really, what happened during the stream. But also, let's take a look at the market. Let's take a look at the CRO price. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Where we do see the market heading overall. If you have any questions, by the way, about the future of CRO, don't forget to ask those questions in the comment section or here right live in the chat. Always, guys, every Thursday and every Sunday, 9 p.m. Amsterdam time or 8 p.m. UTC. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see Björn. I see Trans King. I see Teddy. All the beautiful people here live in the chat. Okay, let's quickly take a look at the charts. Welcome, by the way, as well. Middle school kid. We also got Johnny O. So, for anyone wondering why no videos last week, or so far this week, I have been super ill. I've been very, very ill. So, I had very little opportunity to record a video. So, I got some tea now. I got some tea with honey. Very good for the throat. Anyways, what's happening with the market overall? So, we talked about this break a while back already for Bitcoin. So, Bitcoin broke below the previous high at 69k. And also, that's this one over here. The 69k level. We're now below that. We also broke below the crucial 74k level. So right now we're still hovering at about between these levels, I would say. 67 today went all the way to 65. So Bitcoin, it's still hovering near the lows. There is no clear pattern yet, I would say. This is like super clear. We are so far though still setting higher lows. That's the only thing we can so far you see on the chart here. Other than that, it's not really that clear. We can maybe say that the pattern is a bit changing, but the only thing we truly can see here is a bit of a higher low structure so far, which is good. Overall, I would say it's a good pattern. The only thing which is not typically good is that we have here also lower highs. So the first high was a bounce back all the way to 72k, then to 70k, and now, we're hovering at about 67. So the question is, next time, will we only go to like 69? Will we go to 68? That's what we don't know so far. So make sure you strap in for this one. Some other analysts, and I always check with them with other channels as well, they are talking more and more about a potential bear flag. I don't really agree with that narrative myself, but hey, it's something you guys might want to be aware of. So a bear flag, it's pretty much the opposite of what happened here. This is, I would say, a great example of a bull flag. So here we had a period of continuous growth, very steep continuous growth from 25 to 70 in the matter of only, I would say, this was actually a half a year, but still pretty quick, pretty fast. And then we had a period of decline. But this is the typical period of decline that we can call a bull flag, because we went up. The only problem really with the bull flag is that typically, well, you might want to argue it's more like this here. The target really of the bull flag would have been a bit higher, just a tad higher than where we went. Well, we should have gone to about 127, but hey, it's no absolute science, of course. So if you take a look at the bull flag target here, it's not actually that much off of where we ended up at 125. So you can actually argue it's a perfect bull flag here in play. I would, though, typically say I would pull a lot further. I would say this is a bigger bull flag. And then we should be going to an even higher target in the upcoming, weeks, but we're not there yet. So this bull flag would bring us to about 192. Some people are still talking about the 200k target for Bitcoin in this year, 2026. I don't think it's impossible, but the structure is definitely different than what we, have been seeing earlier. Welcome, guys. I see a lot of people talking about 40k. The more people I see talking about 40k, the more bullish I become. Hey, I see Star Fox as well. Good to see you, sir. My amateur opinion, though, is going to go down before it goes up. I think that's possible. We can sweep the lows, but I think it's really hard to call here. It's super hard to call. I also want to talk about the title really of this stream, because the title of the stream is called Max Fear or Extreme Fear, and also CRO charts. I'm gonna talk about the CRO charts, of course, as well later in the video. CRO US dollar, CRO Bitcoin, all the good stuff, guys, happening here on the channel. So just strap in. But the title of the video is called Extreme Fear because we are still at extreme fear levels according to the Fear and Greed Index. It tries to index really sentiment, for example, on social media. It tries to also include, I believe, a few different things. So let's talk about volatility. Let's talk about volume, social media, surveys, and dominance. So what is interesting as well, if you take a look back at the charts, is that, for example, here for Bitcoin, this is the Binance chart. But if we add volume to it, you typically see those bars, right? The volume. But volume is dead. It feels so dead. The only caveat I should say is that this data is probably also much manipulated, because you can see that this bear market here, the bear market lows, there was massive volume on Binance, whereas even before that we didn't get to those high levels. But you can see if we ignore that data here, if we ignore the data there is very little volume. The only big volume spike we had was when we hit about 60k. So typically I would say when we have a big spike in volume, that can point towards bottoms. But volume is very weak. Volume is very weak on the daily here. Also on the weekly, volume, guys, is low. Nobody really wants to trade currently with Bitcoin. But I think that might change quickly, because let me ask you a question. And I know this is mainly a crypto audience here, but if you're honest to me, you have a lot of money now. You are an investor. You want to invest a bit more risky. What do? Do you go into gold? Do you go into ETFs? Do you go into convertible notes? Do you go, what do you go into? And I preface this because if you take a look at gold, right, would you put your money into an asset that has done in this year alone, and I'm talking about the last 2 months basically of 2026, this asset alone has gone up how much? 22%. But if you take a look at the overall market here, gold has been super strong. Green month after green month after green month. But at some point it will end, right? At some point there will be this flip happening. Might it be this month already? Might we have already seen the highs for gold? I don't know. I don't know, guys. That's the truth here. If it starts to flip though, and we don't know that, currently it's still climbing, and I would say that the overall trajectory is still pointing towards more climbs. But we are very much oversold on the RSI on the monthly. You can see here, monthly RSI, it's not often that we go this high. So there is definitely a case to be made that we are soon going to see the flippening for gold into the more red area. So are you going to invest into gold on one of the highest RSI levels ever for gold? Or are you going into the stock market? Also there, all-time highs for the stock market. Or are you going to invest into an asset class that has shown crazy potential in the past, but is currently down about minus 50%? Like, if you ask me the question, what is the smartest investment? Is it one near price highs, or is it one basically near bear market bottom lows, right? I would say the latter. I would 100% say the latter, because Of course, we can go lower, but there's no guarantee for that. You can see here, the RSI went extremely low. Fear and greed, extremely low. I even think that last week at this 5 level, I think this might have been the lowest ever. I need to check. I think it is the lowest value ever for the fear and greed index. So here, last week we had 5. I can't even show it. It's so small. It was so bearish. We hit 5. And I think 2022 was 9. 2019, also a bit of bear market. It hit all the way low to 5 as well. So it went back to the previous lows, really, to fear and greed, which is more than 6 years ago. Maxime, strapping in. Welcome, welcome. I think the implications, James talking about the Clarity Act here, are vastly underestimated. 40k Bitcoin would be amazing. It would be a gift. And I think it's also when maybe volume would spike up again, because that would be like such a cheap Bitcoin buy for many parties. I think people want to buy Bitcoin at 40k, and Binance, maybe it's manipulation, right? Maybe it is manipulation. So parties like Binance, they can stock up at a very low price. BlackRock can buy at 40k. You know, they probably would like that. They probably would like that. Oh, tea with honey, it's so good, guys. Especially during the season, right? The influenza season. Everybody's sick here, it's crazy. What were we talking about though? So Bitcoin, guys, you know, it's max fear. And also Bitcoin dominance is showing that, right? Because what we see for Bitcoin dominance, on the month, you can see a big red candle so far. The month is still going on. But it's clear it doesn't really want to rise. Currently also, stable coins are getting more dominance. But let's talk a bit more about the Clarity Act, because the Clarity Act can be absolutely huge. We also have to talk about RN later. But let's start quickly with the poly market odds. Welcome, guys. I see Armand Clark. I see Solid Snake. I see Maxime again. Star Fox, Björn. Let me get poly market up. By the way, poly market is a prediction market. And I think today, I need to check. We're going to see this live here. I think poly market has been disabled in the Netherlands. Oh, yeah. I think I cannot place any bets anymore. I never really used poly market myself, but let's take a look at the Clarity Act. The Clarity Act, it's basically the most important Bitcoin or crypto bill that we have. Stable coins, it's the everything bill. It's about clarity. The name, it's in the name, right? So let's get the Clarity. There currently is an 84% chance we'll get the Clarity Act signed into law in 2026. People are voting with their wallet on this outcome. So I would say, indeed, as we got here by Jamie, there is a very big chance we will get the Clarity Act. And this is currently pointing towards 90. Previously, it's been a bit more bearish because we have been in a bit of an impasse because the banks wanted this, crypto companies wanted something else, especially regarding interest on stablecoins. But let me show you something. Let me show you something, because we had a tweet earlier today. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go to this one. We had a tweet earlier today by somebody from the XRP army. You can see again, Clarity Act was 83% chance a bit earlier. But we got this statement here by, I need to check if I can find it. Here we got Brett Garlinghouse.
It will pass by the end of April. I had said a couple weeks ago, I thought end of April. At the time, people thought that was a little optimistic. There's a meeting today with a lot of leaders on both sides, the crypto and banking, in the White House, who's been an advocate. I think it's now 90% it will pass by the end of April. I had said a couple weeks ago, I thought end of April. At the time.
So basically, we got here the CEO of Ripple, founder or founding party of the XRP token. There's a 90% chance the crypto market structure legislation will pass by April. So not only are the odds for this year quite great, also it will already probably come in April. In April, it sounds like far, far away. I know in many countries we still have like blizzards and it's very cold. But April is only like 40 days away, guys. And in April, we'll see a lot of bullish stuff. I want to reiterate, and then we're going to go back to the comments, guys. In April, we do expect this hit to come. Trap Media Group CRO strategy that will go live by April. It should be live in April. If we can believe, at least hear this new statement. You can see here, they mention in the news article, Gutterman and Salzman, so the CEO and CFO of the MCGA CRO Treasury Company, say it will begin to transition into the rules at the closing of the business combination, which is expected to occur in the first quarter of 2026. So the first quarter of 2026. That's March, latest, right? It all depends also on the CFTC. It depends on the SEC. I think mainly the SEC because this MCJ company is a stock basically traded on the Nasdaq. But it's quite interesting because recently also Crypto.com and Chris, they are very active. And let's talk about this quickly as well because Chris is the CEO of Crypto.com and he has been added to a very important board. Chris, by the way, of AI.com. This is also a topic we need to address. It's taking way too long. AI.com, where the frick is AI.com? But I would say this is the big thing regarding the, here we go, regarding the CFTC. It's an honor to be selected as a member of the CFTC Innovation Advisory Committee, bringing together leaders from tech, crypto, and prediction markets. Thank you, Chairman Salek, for the privilege and for your leadership. I look forward to contributing to this critical work. So they want to work on the golden age of American financial markets. This is basically the prediction markets that we are seeing here. Like, for example, here we have Polymarket. And you're right. So we got it as comment by Pete. So Polymarket is effectively closed to users in the Netherlands following a formal order from a Dutch gambling regulator, the Kansspelautoriteit. Yeah, that's true. It's actually true. They got a big fine here. But this shouldn't be allowed to make any bets anymore. Unless you use a VPN, but in theory it's illegal. In theory it's illegal. In America, they are still talking a lot about, you know, how they want to regulate this, especially in Nevada. So Nevada, the birthplace really of gambling, I would say almost. Not the birthplace, but we've got Las Vegas. They are still unclear what they want because the more they allow also online gambling with, I would say prediction markets, it's not entirely gambling, but it's like 99% gambling. Because no outcome is certain, right? No outcome is absolute. We're still talking about the future, so predictions / gambling, you know, I don't really care. To me, it's still gambling. But maybe gambling with a bit better odds. For example, here, the Fed rate cut decision. I made some money because I think it was quite clear based on the signals by the Fed, by the wordings really of Jerome Powell, what the decision would be. So in the end, I think it's very clear also what the outcomes will be. No rate cut, guys. No rate cut, most likely, in March. %93% even. Maxime has a question about something very dear to me. ZK CRO. What are your thoughts about having some ZK CRO, liquid state CRO, when the CEO of Cronos only wants to focus on the L1? So there are two things here. We have the ZK CRO side, and we have got the ZK Cronos chain side. I think ZK CRO, you're fine. And why are you fine? Let me show you the platform quickly, because if you go to Vino Finance, that is the liquid staking protocol that powers the ZK CRO token. because I need to check for it. There we have it. It's hard to show you here. Skip onboarding. So the best I can show you to you here is that basically, if you stake your CRO tokens here, you will receive a different token in return. It's called LCRO, Liquid Crow. So typically, if you stake your crow, it is locked in a vault basically. You cannot touch it. But the benefit of staking is that you get additional rewards. So what liquid staking does, it gives you a big part of the staking rewards, but it also keeps your staking liquid. So you can sell, move, or do whatever with it, as long as you have the liquid staked crow token. If you want to sell your L crow though, typically you pay a bit of a fine, or well, you pay a lower price because it doesn't have the same liquidity really as actual crow, but it's pretty decent. It's really pretty decent. So ZK crow is basically L crow. So I'm fine with holding ZK crow now. If you go to the ZK, I think, let me check quickly. I hope this answers your question, by the way. We'll talk about the ZK side in a minute, but I want to check ZK Cronos bridge. Here we have it. So what you can do now, if you get yourself Pro, and this is not the one. If you want to withdraw ZK Crow, you will get L Crow in return, right? And you can see one ZK Crow is 0.87 L Crow, and then one L Crow is again a bit more ZK Crow. Or it is confusing. So ZK Crow is Crow in a very weird state. But I don't really feel, you know, that they will rock us basically. That's not my feeling. And if they want to do, you will go back. You can easily bridge over to L Crow, and it's all fine. Then though, we have a different question. What do you think about the focus on L1? So I think it's the right focus. And why do I say that? Well, it's very clear. If we go now to, for example, DeFi Llama, and we check rollup chains, I think like the ZK Crow chain, it's dead. It's pretty much dead. There is only $7.5 million on the chain. The DEX volume is 27,000 as well. 2,000 per volume. There is just very little happening on this chain anymore. And it's a shame, but it's how it is, right? Never really been a big success. We can see the big success was really in the beginning phase. They tried a bit more later in November. I think also partially thanks to the Wolfies, or the Wolf NFTs. Then we had a bit of a revival later in September, but it was only because Crow increased in value, not because there was more use for it. But other than that, it has been on a big decline. So I don't think it's this is also pathetic. You can see in the last 24 hours, $7 were paid as fees on Moonlander and 34 on Fulcrum. So this, guys, is one of the most revenue losing chains in existence. And if you want to be honest, guys, be honest. Do you want them to invest into the Crow token, like Cronos Labs, to buy back and maybe burn the Crow token? Or do you want them to invest further into a losing chain? You know, if they really see a future in this chain, I think maybe double down. However, recently we got this statement by Vitalik. And Vitalik is the inventor of Ethereum. Vitalik. By the way, today they have another event of ETH Denver, bit of a developer conference. I think someone from our community is there. So if you're watching, hello, have fun at ETH Denver. So basically, a while back, we got this big statement by Vitalik, so the founder of Ethereum, that is saying the following. I can't speak Russian, unfortunately. He's tweeting a lot recently again. There we go. No, not this one. So here we go. There recently have been some discussions about the ongoing role of L2. So for anyone wondering, Cronos ZK AVM is an L2 running on top of Ethereum. And basically is saying that the whole development has been far slower and more difficult than originally expected. So it is going super slow. There's no actual development, also no actual onboarding, and also got the L1 Ethereum. Ethereum itself is scaling, has low fees, has a good gas limits, and it will become even better in 2026. So basically saying more and more that L2s no longer make sense. If you think about this, right, the founder of Ethereum, somebody with a lot of power in the scene, 6 million followers as well, he's saying that this experiment is unfortunately failed. So do you pull the plug? You know, to me personally, I think it's fine. The only thing which I really do hope is if you pull the plug, do it well. Do it well, guys. And I think Ryan and Zane and Smith, they know. I like, if I listen to them, I think they know what they're doing. And here you got John Lemon as well. John Lemon. I love the name here. I like the interview. And the thing about this, right, why I like the interview is because we're not talking with robots anymore. We actually have somebody that seems to understand the market. He seems to understand where the community is coming from. He seems to understand also what we need. And it's coming from somebody also that has shown in the past that they are able to grow a product. And not everything has been a big success, but I would say recently also, I would even say there has been a bit of an ouch moment. So Smith, during his recent interview with WolfSwap, so if you missed it, it was over here. He was talking about his past, and his past was at Optimism. What happened to the Optimism blockchain or Optimism code? Well, I want to show you quickly the Optimism chart, and I think it will show you the story. Optimism, OP token. This happened. Like, I think on one single day, we started dropping massively. The Optimism token started dropping very heavily because of a single event. I believe on Wednesday they started to announce that the base chain would start to move over from Optimism to their own stack. So one of the biggest clients, one of the biggest reasons for Optimism to be so highly priced was because of the base chain. But everyone is moving over. Nobody's really caring anymore about L2s, and the chart itself, it shows that it's been on a big decline. This was one of the big narratives of 2024, L2s. But narratives can flip so quickly. We have had NFTs. We have had meme coins. We have had ICOs. You know, it crashed. It started crashing. I think actually it might have been a bit. No, not this one. This was the 1010 event. This was the 1010 event. Now officially lower than where we were on 1010. And it's been only getting worse and worse because nobody is truly adopting Optimism anymore. And this has been built by Smith in the past. So one good thing, they have the context. They have the contacts. They know the people. They know what works. People like Smith, like Ryan, like Zane, they brought Optimism to a great place. They brought it to over here. And over here, you know, it did pretty well. It did really well, I could even say. And also more and more integrations, more and more use of the actual product. Since they left, it's been worse and worse and worse. I think they can help grow the CRO ecosystem. You know, I don't really care about ZK Cronos. I just want the liquid CRO. I think it's better that they focus on just Cronos. I think so too, you know, because it's already expensive enough. And if they support anything, then don't support ZK CRO, support this. But if you're going to make an end to it, I would say reward the people. Like they always say, you guys that use ZK EVM, you guys are the pioneers. And if one thing, please do not, you know, how do you say that? Be nice to the pioneers. Be nice, guys. All I'm asking for here. What's up, guys? Don't forget to hit the like button. Strap in as well. We're talking about a bit of the recent AMA. But for example, Alex here. Okay, doesn't want to stop. Hello? Anyways, we're talking about this AMA here, the Wolfish podcast. But a lot's going on. I think a good topic we talked about was also not the fat rate cut. That one isn't coming. Not very likely. Fear and greed is very clear, guys. Fear and greed shows that we are still at extreme greed. One of the reasons why we might not go any lower. But let's see. My problem with CDC is that the car brought me in, but the car customer service is absolutely abysmal. Third worlders will just sell your info and never get anything done when you have a problem. So I have a lot of these cards. I have been using them myself for a long time. I have never really had any issue except for cashback. And the cashback they actually did resolve. So I haven't had myself any issue. I'm curious though, what kind of issue did you have? Like people stole your information? Did they steal your credit card detail? Or did you like do any fraudulent transactions with your credit card? By the way, this isn't a credit card, these are debit cards. Debit cards here. I'm spending a lot now with the debit cards because I'm preparing for the wedding, and guys, the wedding is freaking expensive. If I knew that beforehand, I would have bought more CRO instead. Ay. All this investment in the state is stupid. The only thing that people care about is price action. I don't know. It's 50-50, right? 50-50. I want to say yes and no, because some people, and let me show you a website. People also care about this here. Products. Not chains, product, use cases, right? This is Hyperliquid. And Hyperliquid is one of the best advanced trading tools you can use on chain. It's fast, it's relatively cheap. And it's good. It's good. It's a good product. People want to use this. And if they want to use this, they're also basically using the token related to the platform. Even if you just want to trade here with perpetuals, you're also touching the token. And let me show you the token quickly. Let me show you the token on CoinMarketCap. We talk about this example a lot, but Hyperliquid, the Hype token, is ranked number 13. $7 billion market cap. Still a bit smaller than some companies, some big companies, but $7 billion is a lot of money, guys. Has a similar valuation to something like Figma. I don't know if you guys do any UX, but Figma has been, is a well-known brand. Very expensive, by the way, as well, if you want to use it as professional services. But this platform and the rated token, it's valued basically the same. I use a pair of ZK CRO and CRO for staking on ZK Cronos, and I like it. I think that's a very safe one. It makes sense. If it goes though, Johnny, you can always go use the Crow pair. I might want to make a video about it in the future. What's the price doing? Like optimism, it's this might be dead, guys. This might be a one-hit wonder. Crow has shown, you know, it will always bounce back. I know it's rough. I know it's very rough, but it will always bounce back at some point. The question is, when will we get the big bounce? I think everyone here is waiting for the big bounce. Could be soon. Could be quite soon, actually. We talked about the Clarity Act. The Clarity Act will probably hit April 1st. We talked about that here, I think. You can see. Ripple CEO, he's in these talks. 90% chance for crypto market structure legislation to pass. Not too bad, guys. So April might be a decent period. And the fun thing, actually, is if you take a look at how long these drawdowns typically last. From the high to the low. Let's say it like this. It's 30 weeks. This is also about 30 weeks. When is it 30 weeks from the high to the low? That's basically the end of March. So, you know, time in the market, that kind of supports a potential April pump. I know other Crow card people in here have had to contact support, then seen a huge increase in spam emails. Oh wow. I don't know if there was a correlation or just, you know, pure accidents. I had a charge back and the person on the phone literally did a verbal loop for 30 minutes until I gave up and went to the Visa directly. I don't think. Do they have like it? Do they have a phone number? I don't even think they have a phone number, right? Like the crypto.com account only has the chat. Björn is saying, well, guys, if you want to use support, be aware that you are going through multiple people. And sometimes you need to include details of the previous process in your messages. Yeah, that's true. I hope to use them as little as possible. What's up, Cookie? Yeah, that's true. So John Lemon is talking about the icy white or obsidian tier. You should be getting white glove support. Oh, it doesn't feel that white glove. Hey, Ultra Justin, welcome. Do you participate in liquidity pools? I do not really. And I can tell you why. I don't really do that. It's impermanent loss. The only one I would safely do is like USDC, USDT, ZK Crow. But anything else, if there is any volatility in the market, so USDT to USDC is basically 1-to-1, right? And every time people make a swap, USDT to USDC, you'll get a small percentage of that swap. Same for ZK Crow, L Crow to Crow. Makes sense there on that front. But other than that, if you know, I might want to do ETH Crow, because ETH and Crow are basically they have a very similar risk level. But the thing is, and that's the danger I would say of impermanent loss. With Crow specifically, Crow has the tendency to do like crazy pumps, and that's not when ETH typically moves. ETH typically moves at very random times sometimes. So, this is a daily chart. So here we had a big move of Ethereum, right? That started on the 8th of April. and it ended in August. So maybe what you could do is you know the thing is here. First Ethereum moved, and only after that we had CRO moving. But in this whole period, it was pretty lame for CRO. It did go up, by the way. Don't you worry, it did go up. So you can see here, till that moment, it went up about 100%. So CRO went up about 100%. Ethereum went up 200% in the same period. In the end, CRO went higher. But at some point, there is so much difference between Ethereum and CRO that you have a lot of impermanent loss. Refunds are easy to process. I have never, had to do anything myself. So I returned some items, and everything was good. What's up, Shantrax? In Dubai right now. Came to drop a like. What's the weather like? I always have, I want to go there once. I know it's all about, glitter and glamour there, but, being in the desert, it sounds so cool to me. And also I've heard it's one of the safest places in the world. The only, I'm, nah. Probably not rich enough to go there. What's up, Sean? The cards all have a phone customer service. I think that's different though, John. I think that's not crypto.com. That's the that's like the creator of the cards. I don't know. I never had to call them myself. Gonna use my priority pass on the way back for launch. Yeah, I love the priority passes. So if anyone wondering, with these crypto.com Visa cards, you can go to launch. I have the IC White, so I can bring myself and the wife. And drinks, food. Not all launches are great. I have definitely been to a few where the beers were warm. But sometimes, it's pretty good. It's free. It's comfy. You have to wait typically for like 2 hours in the airport, right? Especially if you have a transfer. In that case, waiting for 2 hours ain't all that bad. Will you be upgrading to the Obsidian card? I would say Skywalker. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me personally. I think where it is now regarding rewards, it's hard to beat. Let me check what's the I think Obsidian's like 5% cashback. Yeah, it makes no sense to me. It's 4% for IC and it's 5% for Obsidian. Yeah, it's 8% here for Prime. I'm not going to do Prime though. Yeah, you can see 8%. But yeah, the difference is so big. It's 45,000 euros for IC and it's 450. This is $500,000, guys. $500,000 or $50,000. Oh man, the tea is gone. What's the tea, by the way, regarding TA? So we've been talking about TA quite a bit recently, and also if you are a member of the channel, please join our Discord, because we also have a member exclusive channel. So what I did, I went long here. I went long here not that long ago, because we had a retest which was successful. So I think I actually went long like here, and then it only went down. So TA on CRO isn't always the best, especially short term. I think that I do prefer the 4-hour candles. And you can see that we are basically still holding on to this line here. So overall, CRO is doing not that bad. Friend had to cancel his car because they just canceled his payment? That's weird. It's not impermanent until you sell. That's true. That's true. But at some point, you might want to cash out, right? I think that's one of the reasons why we are here in the first place. Come on, Bitcoin, you can do it. Bitcoin is going up a little bit now, so that's bullish. Oh, man. So, again, as we talked about earlier, there's not really a very clear pattern here. You could maybe make the argument there is a bit of a higher-low structure here. Maybe even like a bit of a double bottom we're setting now here. But overall, we got higher highs or higher lows, but also lower highs. So nothing really too spectacular on that front. It can be a long wait until we actually have some action. I would say though that before the end of March, you probably will go into like a decision moment. But I don't really mind that we are stuck here for a long time. And I don't mind because this was also the case back all the way here in 2023. Do you see how long we were here? This might also happen to me. So there is, I would say, definitely a possibility where we are going to see a very similar structure, right? So here we are wrong. Let me do it again. So here we do see we have those higher highs, higher lows, but also lower highs. So we are converging here. And at some point you break down. And we broke down to sweep the low, basically. We swept the low, and that's it. That's it, guys. After that, though, we stay here for a very long time. So if there's any indication for what can happen, I think there is definitely quite a decent chance that 60k is the bottom for Bitcoin. And if 60k is the bottom for Bitcoin, well, you can bet that this was also the bottom for CRO. I think it has been the bottom for CRO so many times before. But you can see, right, that this is a scenario that's not that unlikely. So the same thing here. Let's go back. Let's go back. Where are we? So again, we're creating these structures here. We might be able to sweep the low. So we might break down. This is a symmetrical triangle, so a breakdown is possible. So maybe we sweep the low again. And then we, we continue struggling a bit, and that can take months even, like worst case. If it is like a typical bear market. Let's go back. How long did it take? How long were we stuck here? I don't want to make you guys too afraid here, but you can see it took. Actually, no, it's not too bad. Like this was 2 months. In 2 months, we will know a lot more. And again, we've been talking about a potentially bullish April. Well, the timeline, it kind of fits. The timeline is perfect. We have the Clarity Act coming. We have also for CRO, we have a lot coming, guys. We have the Cronos app launching on April 1st. We have MCGA coming before April even. So timeline-wise, we hit the low on Feb 5, the 5th of February. So at about 60 days, that brings you to the beginning of April. Could happen, right? Just scenario. Just a scenario where we are, maybe hitting this like, and then we stuck, and then maybe. I would sign for that. Hey, what's up, Karl? No hablo español. Is there no like Spanish speaking channel, guys? I want to check now. John Lennon is saying the number on the back of the card is the CDC phone number. Well, to me it mentions card support 24/7. Card support 24/7. That's the company. It might be, There's a hotline number. It's the same number on all the cards, so it probably is the one. +33. Huh. Like, my experience with like my true experience with crypto.com support has always been the chat. Man, Dubai is amazing. I recommend it like for 3 nights and going to the Maldives. Oh man, I would love that. Oh boy. Ultra economic instinct, man. Goku unlocked Ultra Instinct. I unlocked Ultra Economic Instinct. Welcome. 2 months already. What a chat here, guys. Thank you so much. Ultra, by the way, we added some amazing emotes. Amazing. We got Chris now. We got Chris in the emote section. I will try to show it to you quickly. And we also have something else. This is actually what you see now flying about me. That's Wiz. I like these as well. We got Chris, guys. So in Canada, it's also the debit card. Okay. It's also the debit card for Canada. Oh man, I would wish that CRO goes back to 8 cents though. 8 cents, and then we break above this level, and hopefully we go to like the 10-cent target. That would make sense also because here, and here also has been this one as well. 10 cents is our emotional support level. When is Trump Media buying? So we talked about this a bit earlier, but basically I expect that if they are going to be true to their word in their December statement, it should be very soon. You can see here, first quarter of 2026. But we're still waiting, as John Lennon is mentioning here. John Lemon. Peace. I love the name, really. There needs to be a SEC approval. I've been exploring Jake Gordon's channel. We're using VFAT. What is VFAT? If you get the IC for 50k, do you get staking rewards during the 12 months? You get it as long as you keep staking. So I've been getting rewards for the last 7 years, 6 years. What's up, Private? I'm late. Hello, everyone. What's the date Chris said that everyone should be happy? 26th of March. Somebody actually quite interesting. So somebody made the argument that Chris mentioned, right, keep me accountable. Take a look at the price on the 26th of March, 2026, and keep me accountable. Somebody in our Discord mentioned, well, what if Chris is actually going to keep himself accountable if the price is relatively low? And, you know, he will say, well, I will step back. I didn't deliver. Will Chris do that? Maybe. And the reason why Chris might want to do that as well, like he might want to do that because Chris is more focusing now on AI.com. This is getting a bit of a meme though. So if you take a look at AI.com, so what Chris mentioned was that they should be going live with AI.com soon. Soon. We began rolling out the product to a small number of users. We will use this as an opportunity to fix issues and gather feedback and expand beta gradually to more and more people. So I don't know. I haven't heard of a single person yet that got access. So if you guys got any access to AI.com, please let me know. Because I want to see screenshots. I want to know your experience. I want to know everything. You mentioned, I would say the first time about rollout. On February 10th, so that's about 9 days ago, you mentioned within 48 hours. But rollout is slow. On the credit card, I see staking rewards, but not for the debit card. There is definitely staking rewards. So you can see, where is it? I don't see it here. It's not. I think it's level up. I don't really like the website sometimes. Website is really bad. Like it's slick, but I hate browsing the website on desktop, especially because it's simply broken in Europe. I pressed the button and oh no, never mind. Doesn't work. What's up, Sage? Welcome. Yo, Coin Baron, is the Cronos app the resurrection for Cronos we're waiting for? Okay, so let me talk. Let me talk about this. Mr. Sage is talking about the recent announcement, really, of the Cronos app. So I think somebody on our Discord, they posted something quite interesting, and let me just grab that. I think it's really good. So again, join our Discord. Good stuff. It's maybe a bit small to actually see. But somebody put in this. It's AI. It's AI generated, so it's not exactly, you know, the best. So somebody's talking about different cases. So if you can't read it, mentions we've got the bull case, we've got a base case, and we've got a bear case. 25% bull case, you know, 45% base case, and, you know, 30% probability for the bear case. It's all about adoption of the app in the end. So if the app gets adoption, so it's mentioning here, you know, if we get like 1 million active users, that might mean about $50 billion of annual volume. Then we are creating about between 25 and 150 million of annual revenue on the app. I think that's still lowballing a bit, because what we do see, for example, in Hyperliquid, they're creating like billions, like literal billions of dollars in revenue. And I can prove that as well if you go take a look at DeFi Llama. It's all about the adoption in the end. So if they can do it, and I think the bull case in the AI comment here is not that bad, but if they can actually deliver, let me show it to you here. Or is Hyperliquid? Here we have it. You can see in the last 24 hours, in a pretty much bear market, they made about $1.6 million of fees. So this is almost pure net profit. Pure net profit for the protocol. $1.6 million of fees in a bear market situation. So let's say we this adds up to about 300 million, but I know during the bull market it was as much as about $1 billion. I think in 2025 they made about $1 billion of fees on just one chain, right? One app, the Hyperliquid app. And then they also got Aave, they got Phantom, they got Kinetic, they got a lot of different apps. In total, they made about $2 million in fees. The big one, that will be the Cronos app. Let's say the Cronos app will become like a quarter of the success. Then we're talking about let's take these numbers here. So they do about 250 a day in revenue. And guys, it can go really quick, because Hyperliquid, it was nothing. In 2024, it literally wasn't the thing yet. They scaled very quickly, and basically since March of 2025, they are a big staple really of the crypto ecosystem. So if they do like a third, so let's say they make $300,000 every day in revenue, then we're talking about basically, let's do math. That's about 100 million, right? Yeah. That's about $100 million every year that they can use to buy back and burn Pro. It's definitely, that is definitely going to help Crow, like price wise. If anything, it's crypto.com and the Cronos app that both can help pump the price, because let's say from the 100 million revenue that I think 100 million revenue is pretty easily doable. They can do that. I think they can do that definitely. Maybe not this year. Maybe like we have to take a look at all of 2026. And that's the base case to me. I would say that the bull case would be, let's say they make $1 billion like Hyperliquid. But if they can do that, guys, if they can actually make about $100 million revenue, the token alone is worth about $3 billion total market cap, right? So $100 million of buying power, that would be a lot for such a small market cap. But it's also it's not just right the actual fees and revenue. What you also do with companies, right, is you look forward. If you take a look at the stock market, I would say previously a good stock was worth about 10 times the yearly revenue or 10 times the yearly profit. But these days, if you take a look at OpenAI, if you take a look at Meta, Gemini, they're more taking a look at the potential in the long run. Are they becoming a market leader? What can they do in the future? So then we get into the speculation area. So if let's say next year they make, if let's say this year is going to be pretty successful, they launch April 1st, and in the first year they make about $100 million in revenue. That's pretty steep, but they can do it. Like, it's definitely doable. We just have seen an example of Hyperliquid that did it. They started with nothing, ended up becoming a great app. And the benefit, of course, is here that Crypto.com is the big daddy. They have all the liquidity, and users typically go where liquidity is as well. So we have some advantages on top of other platforms like, for example, Hyperliquid. So if they start with 100 million, then like people start to speculate, but well, next year maybe will they do growth like for example Hyperliquid? Will it start to see bigger and bigger valuations, more and more total value locked? Let's see, like this. I like this one, app fees. App fees have been phenomenal, really. So going back to the question by Sage here, do you think it's the resurrection? I think it can be the starting point of a new era. Like also what we have with Ethereum and the switch from proof of work to proof of stake. Ultra sound money. You guys might notice this dashboard. So this basically has been tracking how much ETH has been burned. And well, this guy's hasn't been promised yet, but I've been talking with Ryan about this, and basically he wants to make something very transparent for all the users so we can check all the tokenomics, we can check the burn rate, we can check the supply growth, we can check the issuance. So we have a very clear and sound view of where CRO is going, like with Ethereum, like also with Hyperliquid, and I think it's what we need. The number on the back is the commodity bank. I don't know. Yeah, this is a good thing also. So Sage is mentioning that they won't create a new app. They will have basically a rebrand of the already existing on-chain wallet. I kind of find it funny because the on-chain wallet has always been property of Crypto.com, and now Ryan is coming in saying, well, now it's ours. So they've been like, hey, no, Crypto.com, Cronos, like two separate entities. No, guys, come on. Let's be honest. Let's be freaking honest. Cronos is Crypto.com, like AI.com is Crypto.com, like OG.com is Crypto.com. It's all freaking Crypto.com in the end. Isn't it? I will be selling about half my CRO stack when Trap Media buys, because if we are in a bear market, you know, we might see a pump and dump and only go up. So the thing about it, Sean, is that probably like it's not like they will buy in like one time only. If anything, I expect something more like with Michael Saylor. Let me bring up Michael Saylor. Don't know if he shared recently. Yeah, here we go. So Michael Saylor has been putting up screenshots here of every single Bitcoin buy he did. I really hope we'll see the same thing also for MCJ. So like, yeah, we bought here, here, and here. Like, I think it's a missed opportunity that they didn't do bigger buys here, but they did do bigger buys on the way up here for Bitcoin, which is interesting. So they will be doing small buys here and there, and every time they have more Bitcoin or more CRO, they probably can buy even more CRO. How the flywheel works. But it won't be like a one-time buy. That would be stupid, by the way. Me, myself, you know, it's kind of weird for AI.com to have like the big Super Bowl ad and then for them to not be ready. That's true. But so the most important thing for the whole AI.com thing is that they wanted to get signups. So they wanted this. This is a brilliant marketing move. So now basically, the minute you start to log in and sign in with Google, the minute they are ready, they will send an email. And this is not the best because they will, you know, it will get in your spam email. People won't click it. So the best thing would be for it to be ready at the Super Bowl. But this is already quite strong. So people that are interested in this, they will probably, you know, take a look when they receive the email from, hey, we are ready. It's built for mobile slop. What are we talking about? Visiting some computer part websites like ASRock and like, they animate way too much stuff and it actually makes it hard to use the site. Yeah. So crypto.com, the app, the website here, it's so bad. Also, you know, the scaling is really bad. So if I want to zoom in and out, it's so weird. Oh man, I haven't built a PC in a long time, John. I want to build a PC, but I don't know, John, if you have recently seen the RAM prices. Like, memory is getting crazy. And because like memory is in every component, well, not every component, but for example, the GPUs also use VRAM. Everything is getting expensive again. And we have a bear market, so it's not like I can afford a new PC, but I want to buy one. How is it going, Zerkas? Welcome. You know, we're chopping. We're still chopping, but we're doing fine. We're at about 8 cents. We got Bitcoin at about 67. 6.7. Yeah, guys, 6.7. It's still going strong here. We probably will be stuck at 6.7 for quite some time. Maybe 6.8 soon. What's Cronos money from fees? Hey, yeah, let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that. So, okay, I can show you here. For Cronos ZK EVM, I have it open. It's $40. Yeah. Okay, so $40. Hyperliquid, guys, 2 million. But this is ZK EVM. Then we also got the other chain, of course. It's decent, but it's definitely nowhere close to... Where the frick is Cronos? I think I missed it somewhere. Ah, here we go. Number 17. It's not too bad, but it's not really that, you know, significant. It's about $30,000. The majority being tectonic and liquid staking. You know, the thing I'm worried about, there are a lot of places for CDC to take modern banking at least from, but are they really going to make the best app ever? I doubt it. There's so much competition there, but, you know, regarding the card, like, for me, the card is still the number one. I was listening to the last interview from 2 days ago with WolfSwap while I was at the gym, and was a lot of things that grabbed me. For example, the things about the regional regulatory relationships from Crypto.com that they haven't been leveraging. That's a big thing as well. So basically, guys, that's the big takeaway from me as well, is that what Ryan and Smith and Zane are going to do is basically say, okay, Crypto.com, bring us the liquidity, bring us the prediction markets, bring us everything. We'll put it on chain for you. We'll get a small fee from that, but it will be on chain, so we can use it, you can use it, and everybody's happy. They mentioned some unannounced partnerships. I missed that one, actually. Okay, that's pretty big. I missed that one. I need to listen back again. Like, we need tokenized stock trading, and we need all of that. So if Wiz can get interwoven with a seed of the regulatory approval from Crypto.com, it's genuinely something. So we might be the first regulatory approved chain. That's pretty sick. And also recently, I saw this tweet. I don't really get it myself. I don't know what it means, but you can see Chris was proud of it. So Crypto.com was the first digital asset platform to earn the Fortune ISO something standard, the global standard for responsible AI systems. What? What does this mean? But they, Crypto.com, they are so regulated. I'm looking forward to the future of CRO. I love getting cash back this low, especially with the rebates. With cashback below 8 cents, and also Trump media buying, it's a no-brainer. I love it, especially. So one of the best things about the cards is that you get like free Spotify and free Netflix. A few months back, when I got my Netflix rebate, I think I got like 50 CRO, and I'm getting like 300 CRO. It's so much better. Modern sure it won't be a one buy of 5 billion, but small ones just to DCA and accumulate. In the end, it might be the 5 bill, but it might be like 100 different buys, maybe 1,000 different buys, a billion different buys. I don't know. Probably they will automate it. It's they will do it quick. They will do it clever. Why was my comment removed? I don't know. You can still get these small kits. I've heard that the previous generation 4, is doing pretty okay. DDR4, but I already have DDR4. I want to go with the new stuff. 5. So Justin, maybe use like a hashtag. Anything with a hashtag, anything with a link will be automatically removed here from the channel. So Björn is nice. It wasn't Björn. At least I believe it wasn't Björn. I have to trust him and those blue eyes. The card does need some perfecting to do though. Yeah, it's not a perfect product, but it's, for me, it's good enough. I want some more searchability in the app for my purchases though. I think searchability is one of the worst things. If I take a look at my personal bank account on my phone, the app, it's so easy to go back to purchases. But, searching back, I need to literally export the CSV file. I need to, look for it. So, in some interview, he talked about the undisclosed partnerships. Maybe I need to listen back to it. Yeah, Sean is also talking about searching back specific transactions. It's the worst. It's the worst, yeah. Also, a little sad that the roadmap for 2025 was not fully implemented. Yeah, and no new one for 2026. Was looking forward to the stablecoin, but maybe Clarity Act approval holds it back. So, okay, speculation time again. I think that you are right on here regarding the Clarity Act, but also, so Chris told us, of course, that, you know, 26th of March, 2026, that should be a date marked in your calendar, because then the CRO price should be better than when he first talked about it a year back, right? So that's what he mentioned. If I was Chris, if I was Chris and I would like to bring up a roadmap, I would do it like on the day or the day prior, because we know one thing with Cronos is that we are always pumping on announcements. So, announcement. I don't know exactly what this was. I think this was the meme craze, but typically it's all announcement here, announcement here, announcement here. Oh, you can't see that, but you know, always it's an announcement that brings us to higher levels. So maybe only 26. It's like, yeah, let's go. Oh, I wish that stablecoins had come to the main app. I lost fees trading ZUSD. What the hell is ZUSD though? Yeah, assuming myself, maybe that's the thing. Maybe they're waiting for the right time. On the other end, though, they still need to finish stuff as well. So maybe they're working on the final bits, for example, for a stable coin. Yeah, searching is so bad. CB, I'm staking my Crow, Loaded Lion, and Tonic until 2030. Which I have a moon back in all three. Ooh, okay. 2030. Anything special happening in 2030 you want to do? I think Stacy wants to retire in 2030. It brings a bunch of chains to one protocol and you can deploy liquidity there. Are we talking about the Cronos app? So Sean is talking about crypto.com. We can't really communicate with the guys from crypto.com, and for Crow we actually have Ryan. Right, guys, like, it's honestly crazy. If you guys, so literally you guys, you want to talk with Ryan, you can literally join like a Telegram group, because I'm in a public Telegram group, and there you can tag Ryan, and sometimes Ryan is not even being tagged. He's sometimes like reading in. Ryan, he really wants to learn what's happening in the community, and of course he's also like a CEO, so it's not like always, you know, in the chats, but he's tuning in quite regularly. And okay, so if we go back to the early days of Chris was also in the Discord, in the official crypto.com Discord, early days. I think his last message, you can still check him, I think his last message on Discord was 2019-ish. Because back then he did like the Reddit, he did like Discord AMA. So probably in like 10 years, when Cronos becomes the big mother app, super app, whatever, like Ryan is now, I'm not doing this anymore. But if you want to now, you can actually go talk with Ryan. Ryan is pretty open, like it's crazy. Going to bat, well, have a great night, Sage. Ah, VFAT is the name of the protocol. I think maybe that's maybe why VFAT, you know, I have so many different words blocked. Maybe that's I don't know. Can't we get Crowfam to create some movement and getting searchability for the car? You know, if I ever, you know, talk again with Chris, I will definitely let you guys know. Guys, I have to move though. I'm planning to make a video tomorrow-ish about what's happening with the recent updates. As I mentioned, I've been ill. The stream I did last week was already a bit too much, actually. But tomorrow I should be making a video, hopefully also on Saturday, but fingers crossed on that one. I want to talk about what's happening regarding price. I want to talk about, you know, what's happening regarding developments. I think developments are more interesting than price right now because it's boring. Not much is happening, right? So it's hard to talk much about price. But, you know, maybe I have something, a special find. I would say fear and greed, though, it shows that we are at the bottom or very close to a bottom, but, you know, nobody truly knows. Guys, thank you so much. Hit the like button on the way out. And as Bjorn mentions, I see you back on Sunday because then 9 p.m. Amsterdam time, we have another weekly close episode. They will check the charts. Let's see how the stock market closes the week. Let's check how gold closes the week. Let's check how Pro and Bitcoin are also closing the week. But first, check the videos tomorrow. So don't forget to strap in. Hit the bell notification because you guys are missing the first comment. I always see John. John was like strapped in, always the first. Sunday, so long as Coinberry. You know, Pete. The show must go on. The show must go on. I'm almost always there. Almost. I think my track record isn't that bad. Later the year, guys, I will have like a honeymoon, so then I will be gone. Like during the honeymoon. Also, during the wedding, I will not be checking my Twitter, my Discord. No crypto. So don't you freaking dare to pump Crow to $1 on my wedding day, because I would literally be mad. I would be like, I missed the best day of my life because I was having the best day of my life. But yeah, it's, you know, please take it for the team, right? That's it though. I think they should come up with a perfect no-brainer trading bot. I don't know. So, that's actually one final thing. They actually did something pretty cool. Let me check if I can find it. Because crypto.com mentioned something. And I think it's pretty clever, actually. I can't find it now. So, it was posted by Eric Enziani. Eric Enziani is the COO, Chief Operating Officer. And this is it. This is actually pretty cool. So, you guys, if you don't know what this is, yeah, check OpenClaw. OpenClaw is one of the most powerful, I need to follow them actually, one of the most powerful AI agent tools that we have. You know, an AI that does things. This is also the base layer of AI.com. This is the base layer of AI.com. This will be powering AI.com. So check it out. This will be able now. So AI agent bots will be able to automate all your trading. It will start now with the open source AI, OpenClaw. But I promise you that the minute that AI.com goes live, like it will start be able to trade, for example. So this is very exciting. I would say it's very exciting for crypto.com and potentially also, you know, for people that want to be able to trade with bots. Bots aren't perfect though, guys. So make sure you check your own risk levels and all the good stuff. OpenClaw still requires internet access and tokens. Well, you can run it locally, of course, but if you want to trade, well, yeah, then of course you need internet. I've seen many people that want to. They bought a Mac Mini because Mac Mini, they have like integrated, typically like your GPU and your typical RAM. They have separate memory, but they have like integrated memory. It's pretty cool actually. Not really. I am on Nobara right now, testing its function on Fedora. Oh, you're using Linux. Okay. I am, and I dare to say it here, I'm pretty much a Windows man. I love Windows. I had a Windows phone back in the days. I've been one of those nerds. Let's pump Crow just for Coin Baron so he can have an even better day of his life. Thank you, All Central. Hey, Khan as well. Good to see you, sir. Some Turkish love here in the chat. Guys, thank you so much. We're going to end the stream though. Been basically already an hour, half an hour too long. So, whoops. Let's go to bed. Talk to you guys. 9 p.m. Amsterdam time on Sunday, and of course next week we'll be back as well on Thursday. Let's pump Crow. Let's make Crow great again.